Here I got the Gran Turismo. The weather's pretty decent today. Been staying in the garage. I got the battery tender hooked up to it. Let's see how much voltage we got. I don't like to drive it when it's got a low voltage. It's just not a good thing to do. So here I got my battery tester. So I'm gonna hook it up. See how much voltage we got. Check out the state of the battery. 12.7, 800 cold cranking amps. Alrighty, so the voltage is good. One time I had a low voltage and I think the brakes didn't want to release, and then it was setting the code for the electronic shocks. So it's definitely a good idea to have everything charged up, a good state of charge. My tire pressure seems to be low. Well, 3 of them. So I'm gonna top it off before I take off. Alright, it looks like the low tire pressure light went away, so it's a good idea to keep a compressor. That's what I do. I keep this thing ready with some air. That way, if I gotta top something off real quick, then I'm good to go. And then I also got this one too, so, but then that one I don't really need it unless I need a lot of air or use my air tools or something like that. Alrighty, so as you can tell, hadn't driven this car in several days. I think it was a little bit over 3 weeks. So I have the voltage good now, tire pressure's good, but then I looked at my fuel gauge and it was pretty much on E. So I always keep a 5-gallon container of premium fuel, since my motorcycle, my Corvette takes premium, so I keep it just in case. And then after that I'll be good to go when I'll stop at a gas station. Alrighty, so this time I'm all set. Battery's charged, tire pressure's good, and I got fuel in it. So let's fire it back up. And time to head out. I hadn't driven this car in a little over 3 weeks, so it definitely feels so exciting to be driving this car after so long. So it feels more special. So now I know I haven't driven it in a while, but don't get me wrong, I still love this car. It still brings so much excitement to me every time I take it out for the drive. It's just that I had been pretty busy at work and then got other projects going on, and then too, it's winter time, weather ain't been the best. It's either too cold or raining. But that's probably the longest I've let it sit. Generally I don't let it sit more than 2 weeks. And then a lot of times I drive it on the weekend, because it's, for me, it's basically just my weekend car. It's not my daily driver. But this is a car that I can see myself keeping for several years. So in a way that's a good thing. It kind of keeps the mileage low. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to buy a 2014 from the very beginning versus a 2008 that may have had higher mileage. because my goal from the very beginning was to keep it for a long time, and my perspective has not changed since then, because I still love this car. Such a great car to drive, and in my opinion it's very unique. It's like the last of an era. Naturally aspirated, beautiful Ferrari V8 sound, and Maserati is moving into a new generation with hybrids, electrics. So this car's like the last of its kind, and I think it's unfortunately it's a bit underappreciated. These cars have depreciated massively, but I think they're done, considering the 2008 now, because that was the first model that was introduced. The last several months I haven't seen them get any cheaper than 20,000 US dollars, and honestly I just cannot see how it could get any cheaper than that, considering the value that you get for a car like this. It looks incredible, even though it was out for such a long time. So they did a great job on the exterior design, the elements of it. It's just a great looking car that's aged quite well. So we got a upgraded interior of 2018. Now in the future I could probably consider trading it in for one of those, an 18 Gran Turismo, maybe a convertible. I really like convertibles. One of my first cars was convertible. So yeah, that's probably about the only thing I could consider trading this car for. Would be maybe for a newer Gran Turismo. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying having this car. Such a great car, and it rides so nice, like so smooth, comfortable, great suspension. I believe they call it the Skyhook system, where electronically the shocks can get real stiff. So on sport mode, going around the corners, you can tell a huge difference how it stiffens up. The best of both worlds. You want to drive it aggressively, you can. The car handles the part, and then when you just want to chill and cruise like a normal car, and love that beautiful exhaust sound. So this car has a 6-speed transmission. I believe the Ghiblis, the Quattroportes, they got a 8-speed. So on those, I'm sure the RPM stay lower, which is good for fuel economy. But on my opinion, on something like this, I don't really focus too much on the fuel economy. So I like that it's a 6-speed, keeps their RPMs a little bit higher. I get to hear a little bit more of that exhaust as I'm driving along. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe.